Black Widow, baby. I'm not a Black Widow as of yet. Love my husband, Frank, but we do have our trials and tribulations, and it's really cool. I've known this girl for a long time. She is awesome. She's going to be telling us about a health fair tomorrow. She's an astrologer. I'll call her astrologer to the stars and the normal people. Rochelle Caglia-Jarrell. Am I saying that right?
You are.
Rochelle Caglia-Jarrell. Woo! Love and relationship astrologer. Okay, well, tell us about the open house and health fair first, and tell us what you've been doing lately, because this is really, really cool.
Sure. So tomorrow at the center, Bridging Body, Mind, and Spirit.
Where is that?
That's on Shaw.
Okay.
1175 West Shaw.
Okay.
So just west of Palm.
Okay.
And the center is a collective of holistic health practitioners, so we're doing an open house health fair. And it runs from 10 to 2, and I'm going to be doing an introductory on what makes Vedic astrology unique at 10. So each practitioner is going to be speaking, so I'm up first at 10.
That is awesome. It's always good to be first.
Yeah.
But tell us about holistic health. Like, what exactly does that mean? Like, what's the definition?
So all of us are mind-body experts in some way, and we each practice a different modality. So I do Vedic astrology, and I also do Ayurveda, which is the health science from India.
Cool.
There's another Ayurveda practitioner there. There's a yoga therapist. We have several family therapists. We have an acupuncturist.
Wow.
So all of us are into holistic mind-body connection and helping people understand how their emotions and their mind affect their health.
So it's happening tomorrow, 10 to 2.
10 to 2 at the center. Mm-hmm.
Palm and Shaw. So it's called the Center Bridging Body, Mind, and Spirit. And then the name. Okay, so what your teaching is, or your talk, or whatever. How do you say it again?
How Vedic astrology is unique.
Vedic astrology. So tell us about Vedic astrology. Like what does that compare to regular astrology per se?
So Western astrology uses the tropical zodiac.
Okay.
And Vedic astrology comes from India, and we take into account the Earth's motion that makes us point to a slightly different point in space. So
cool.
The Earth is like a top, and it wobbles a little bit.
Yeah.
So we actually point to a different place in space, and Vedic astrologers take that movement into account over long periods of time. So it actually changes your birth sign. So
do you do like I was born April 18th, 1970, so I'm an Aries.
Right.
And my husband's also an Aries. Do you talk about Aries and Taurus and stuff like that, or no, it's something totally different?
The names of the signs are still the same,
okay.
But I have to run your chart and actually look and see if the sign changes. And a lot of people will have a sign change. Most people will have a sign change, but there's a small overlap, so it depends on the month, the day.
Okay, no, it's interesting. Do you think it determines about the time when you were born, how your personalities are? Because I was born at 8 o'clock on April 18th, so I'm more of a Taurus, like stuff like that. Does it matter what time you were born?
It matters what time, because the first house of the chart, or the ascendant, which is your body and your personality, is according to what constellation was on the eastern horizon at the time you're born. So all the planets are in a certain sign, the moon is in a sign, the sun is in a sign, but then the ascendant is dependent upon the actual clock hour, because we turn and then the stars will change as the earth turns.
Interesting. It's so scientific. That's why
it is a science.
I remember when I was doing a morning show in New Orleans, and this guy and I were on the air together. We were very compatible, and I just remember our boss was saying, God, your guys are doing so well. The stars are aligned. It's the way the moon and the stars. Is just kind of interesting.
Right.
Now, you're a love and relationship astrologer, and you have a website, www.datesmarternow.com.
Yes.
Do you kind of hook people up? Do people call you and say, Richelle, I'm dating this guy. He was born July 14th, 1980. What should I do? Is he okay?
Exactly. So a lot of people think of astrology, relationship astrology, with compatibility. How does my chart compare with that person's chart? And that is important. But I tell women all the time, you can be very compatible with somebody, but their capacity to be in a relationship might be low, and you can see that in their chart. So I work with not only sign compatibility, but capacity for relationship. So I help people date smarter by understanding, what are you signing up for? You can see, is someone a workaholic? If they've got certain signatures in their chart and they're a workaholic, that's not going to change. So a lot of women go into relationship thinking, oh, he'll change if he really loves me.
Oh, yeah, right.
Not going to happen.
I'm going to change him.
So you know what you're dealing with if you can see that ahead of time, and then make a decision about whether you want to invest your time.
Wow, that is really cool.
Saves your heart.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like if someone goes on Match.com and this person sounds really interesting and they start to date them, they can call you and say, Rochelle, can you run the stats on this guy,
That's
basically?
right. Mm-hmm.
And even though he says he's not if he's not a workaholic, or he's kind of like iffy and almost lying about things, maybe you can like you
see
said,
that.
save their hearts.
You can see addictions. You can see, tendency to work too hard. You can see someone who's got a little bit of a self-esteem problem. So you just kind of know what you're dealing with.
What about if someone, my husband and our signs are so close. Like I said, I was born 8 o'clock on April 18th. He was born in the morning on April 15th. Do you suggest people to have a relationship within the same sign, almost the same birthday, kind
Well,
of?
in Western astrology, they emphasize sun sign astrology. So where was your sun? Where was the person's sun? In Vedic astrology, we use the moons because the moon is the mind and the emotions. So we have to actually run your chart and see where the moon was that day and compare your moon with the person's moon, because how you emotionally operate is going to be either compatible or not compatible with how that person emotionally operates.
I can't dump him because he's my husband. So
don't dump him.
Do you help marriages though?
I help marriages.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Because dating is good too, but marriages.
Right. I work with a lot of women who are in a relationship and they've hit a wall. And they're trying to understand, people get stuck with communication issues, irreconcilable differences. The happiest relationships have irreconcilable differences, but how to do a workaround, how to work with that person's energy and understand how you communicate, how they communicate, and what certain things in your charts are going to conflict through no fault of anybody. You learn how to stop taking it so personally.
Yeah.
And so, I help married couples all the time.
That is so cool. You're like a counselor, too.
I'm a counselor. I do a lot of counseling, yes.
We'll have to have Mike Briggs and Robin give you their date of births, and then Frank and I, and then have you on the air again with us. What about people's finances, or someone like me that just had a baby? Can you run people's charts like, hey, this kid is going to turn out to be this financial wizard, or
Absolutely.
end up in jail?
Yes. You can see gifts, talents, abilities. You can see someone's tendency to like and enjoy certain activities. So absolutely.
Really?
You can see finances. Now, there are some astrologers who just do finances.
Interesting.
That's a whole area of study.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
I've made relationship and counseling dynamics my specialty, but I can look at finances and job. I try to help people understand their life purpose and be aligned with their life purpose. A lot of people, they're stuck in a job, a job, but they have a deeper calling, so I try to help them excavate that, and you can see that in the chart.
Well, I'm thinking, sometimes with finances, that can actually save or ruin a marriage sometimes.
The biggest thing people fight about is finances.
Totally.
And the biggest thing people want to know about, love and money.
Love and money.
Love and money.
And like just certain things with kids and activities and sports and how to raise kids.
Life.
Exactly.
Yeah. How to find balance, how to take care of yourself. Absolutely.
Well, I just think this is so awesome. Come and see Rochelle. Look how cool she is. You have a great aura about you. You're very calm. I mean, if I didn't know you, I'd want to talk to you also,
Thank you, Athena.
Okay, so www.datesmarternow.com. Tell us about the health fair again tomorrow so people can come and see you.
Tomorrow, the health fair is at the Center for Bridging Body, Mind, and Spirit. We're at 1175 West Shaw. And I'm speaking at 10 on how Vedic astrology is unique, and we'll be there from 10 to 2. So come on by, see the center, meet all our practitioners, and enjoy yourself. Yeah.
It sounds really cool. So you could see Rochelle for astrology, but then also you can learn about acupuncture and yoga and all the holistic stuff.
And I do Ayurveda and Reiki, also hands-on healing. So
what is that? We haven't talked about. That's like a whole. What do you mean hands-on healing?
Well, Reiki is energy healing that I do, and I've been teaching it since 1996.
So is it certain I don't know if you're feeling almost depressed and down and you're like, let's get the bad toxins out of you?
It can certainly help. I do a lot of stress reduction, a lot of women that are super busy, don't know how to take care of themselves. I get them on the table, do a little bit of energy healing. And it's understanding the life force energy and how to really sort of learn how to fill up your gas tank so you don't keep wasting your energy.
Wow. I can definitely use some of that.
Yes.
All right. Well, listen, go see my friend Rochelle. She's got a ton of stuff here at the health fair. And when you want to talk to her, www.datesmarternow.com. Is that the way to get a hold of you?
Yes, that's
awesome.
great.
Rochelle is fabulous. Coming up next, we have Ed talking about employee benefits, which are very, very important right now, especially with Obamacare and a lot of stuff going on. So he will be up right after this on Mike Briggs and Athena, CentralValleyTalk.com.